Greetings! 2 weeks ago I told you that I was stuck on the options menu and I decided to finish the basics of the options menu this time, and that means it is basically working, the layout is complete, it works with mouse and keyboard and controller, and I still have to actually save the settings and actually make the settings change stuff in the game, like volume and resolution and stuff like that. But I just had to leave it at this state at the moment and just work on other things. I sat down with my wife Aoi and we had another playtest which took about 1 hour and 50 minutes. And this was good because I had a new list of feedback that I could work on, and it was a bunch of little things, which meant every time I finish one more little thing that it added to my motivation. In the past 2 weeks I was able to fix a lot of things and actually add a lot of things. I usually don't talk about the fixes because they don't normally make sense out of context, but I wanted to highlight 2 fixes that I thought were quite funny actually. The first fix that I wanted to mention is the preview spirits were able to destroy gates in level 24. Level 24 consists of various gates that you have to send the spirits into, and every time a spirit touches the gate it sort of explodes. And yeah, previous spirits made the gates explode and well, it was a game stopper basically. That was pretty fun. And the second one that I wanted to mention is that the shader distortion that I had on the spirits, they actually had an error when you send spirits through a portal, because the distance traveled was a lot since the last frame, so the x coordinate or the distance coordinate sent to the shader was a lot bigger than it looks fine in the shader. So yeah, those are the 2 fixes that I wanted to mention. Now to the features. Again, as I said, the options menu is basically complete now. I just have to actually do things, which is for later. You can skip cutscenes now with escape and start on the controller, which is very good for testing. You don't have to actually sit through the cutscenes anymore, which is good. I hope it's not a sign of the cutscenes being bad. But after a while you just... Okay, I have to test this level now, just let me through. Anyway, the total boxes placed and the total time that is displayed in the level completion pop-up is now based on actual real values, which is also good for testing. And the spirit smoke is back. Previously, when spirits move around, there was a little smoke trail behind them, and that was part of one of the remaining Playmaker scripts, which I previously just removed, and now the spirit smoke is back in, which is nice. For the first cutscene I replaced all the spirits with new drawings, which is also nice. In level 4 I added a small display to show how many boxes you have left. For the speech bubble icons I actually drew new sprites for Betty and for Catty. Betty now actually has wings. One of the biggest changes in the past 2 weeks was the new dialogue system. Every character is now an actor, quote unquote, and has 6 emotions, which I told you about in the previous log entry. It required me to replace Betty, Catty and Hedka in all of the 30 cutscenes. I have to set the emotions for each sentence using an enum, which is nice because enums result in a drop-down menu in Unity. That is super handy. And to my surprise, the new sprites actually led to some really fun results in the cutscene, so I consider it a success so far. I have some additional notes for the past 2 weeks. I made a storyboard of all the maps and cutscenes so that I can quickly access the levels and sort of have a general overview of the game. I did the same for Half Quick Sunrise. While working on Half Quick Sunrise I made a storyboard of all of the 3 Half Quick parts, so yeah, that was a good thing that I wanted to carry over for this game, and it already paid off, so that is always a good idea to make. I drew some sketches for the splash screen and for the loading screen or scene transitions, and I think I have a very good idea for these now. I also prepared a general roadmap for the game, basically just a high-level overview of what I have to do until the release of the game. It's all that I have left to do, so sounds, music, stuff like that. It actually helps me stay in focus of the game, so I can zoom out a little and see what is still left to do overall, and then I can zoom back in and work on the little details, which is also very nice. I dropped the number in the title. Now it's just called Catty and Betty the Spirit Guide, which I think sounds a bit better and also reads a bit better. And finally, yesterday when I sat down to see how many sprites I'm already using, I found out that it's over 470. So yeah, that is a lot of hand-drawn sprites. And I still have a lot of sprites left to draw. In the next 2 weeks I'm going to keep working on the splash screen and the scene transitions, and I hopefully will start working on sounds and music, as I've been saying for a while now. It's really important that I get this going, but yeah, I just had to get a few other things out of the way first, like the options menu. I'm sure it's haunted. Anyway, thank you again for watching, and I hope I will see you next time. Goodbye.